We give you the facts, it's not what you think. Popeye Newsling, Young King, 1 yard, bless.
Good morning, Popeye. Grandma watch Popeyes every morning and every night.
What am I think? What am I think? You're listening to Popeye News Links. This is the Admiral Tibet who I represent, and remember, the time is so serious, cantankerous and dangerous. This is Popeye News Links.
People of Center, St. Mary and surrounding.
Yeah, watch Popeyes, mama.
Here is
Where I watch?
Popeye.
are you on exactly? If you are,
Greetings viewers and subscribers. Do remember that tonight, Valentine's night, our road leads to Woodstock in Negril on the Beach Road. Red Stripe presents Love at Woodstock. Performing for your musical pleasure will be the award-winning Third World. Tickets will now only be available at the gate later. The cutoff date for the pre-sold ticket is gone. Don't miss it. In the news today, on Wednesday morning, February 12, about 9:30, a lady in her early 40s, she drove and parked up her grey Toyota Wish motorcar with license plate number 2411 KM on the Sovereign Village Plaza at Portmore in the parish of St. Catherine. The lady, she then went to work at an office on the same plaza. When she was finished working at minutes after 5 o'clock that said afternoon and ready to go home, when she went to where she had parked the car, only the spot she see. Hoodlums thief the car. Just like that. In this next report, early Monday morning, February 10 at minutes to 1 o'clock, the management at the Texaco gas station at St. Dacre in the parish of St. Anne, they securely locked it up and went away. When they returned later that same morning, about minutes after 7 o'clock, it was realized that the gas station, it was broken into. Hoodlums, they used a steel cutter to cut a section of the grill to one side of the windows. They then forced open that window and entered. The hoodlums, they then thief cash amounting to over 560,000 Jamaican dollars. They then made good their escape. Late Tuesday night, February 11, the operator for the German bar at Parry Town in the Ocheres area of St. Anne, they securely locked it up and went away. When they returned early the next morning, it was realized that the bar, it was broken into. Hoodlums, they used an implement to remove the padlock from the grill gate. They then forced open the door and entered. The hoodlums, they then thief a large quantity of liquor, 3 American roulette gaming boxes and 27,000 Jamaican dollars in cash. The hoodlums, they then made good their escape. Just like that. In this next report, I carried a report on Saturday, September 16 last year. It was about an incident that took place the previous night. Sunday, September 15, about 7:30. It took place at Cave Hill in the parish of Westmoreland. The allegation is that a 65-year-old man who residents are saying was always taking set on a guy known as Six. It is alleged that 65-year-old man and Six, they were involved in an argument when the man, he was walking away. It is said that Six, he pulled a gun and opened gunfire, hitting the man to his head. Six, he then made good his escape. The man, he was taken to hospital where he was treated. Now, last year, September, when I carried that report, I was contacted by persons who were saying that it was not a gun that Six had used, it was stones he flung. I encouraged those persons to tell Six to hand in himself to the police. Six, him did not go in to the police. So, last week, Thursday morning, February 6, the police, they carried out a raid at Caveville where Six, he was held by the police. His correct name is Lamar Brown and he's 22 years old. He's living in the same Caveville area. Six, he has been charged with wounding with intent and firearm related charges and he'll be going to the courts shortly. I also carried a report on Friday, December 6 last year. It was about an incident that took place the previous day, Thursday, December 5, about 12 midday. It took place at Branchall in the Rosites area of St. James. A guy in his late teens, he was walking along the roadway when a guy known as Simba was seen chasing another guy in his late 30s known as Blacks. Simba, he was armed with a gun and he was firing gunshots at Blacks. Blacks, he received gunshot wounds to his upper body and he fell to the ground. Simba, he then made good his escape. It was then realized that the guy in his late teens who was walking along the roadway, he was also shot. He received a gunshot wound to his left hand. They were taken to hospital where they were treated and admitted. So, since that day, the police, they had been searching for Simba, and on Saturday, February 6, Simba, he was held by the police. His correct name is Simba Stewart and he is 26 years old. He is living at Silver Avenue in the Rosites area. Simba, he has been charged, so he'll be going to the courts shortly. This one, it took place Wednesday night, February 12, almost 11:30. It took place at Mount Zion in the parish of St. James. We are learning that a guy in his mid-30s, he was driving his silver 1999 Toyota Corolla motor car along the Mount Zion main road. On reaching a section of the road, a silver Toyota Axio motor car, it was parked in the middle of the road. Hoodlums in the Axio, they opened gunfire. The guy who was driving, he managed to hit reverse and sped away. He then jumped out of the car and escaped in bushes without being shot. The police, they were informed and they went to the area and they made checks. The Toyota Corolla that the guy was driving, it was seen in a gully at the side of the Mount Zion main road. There were gunshot damage to the right driver's door and the bonnet. Now, you want to know how lucky this guy was? When the police processed this crime scene, 28 9mm and 17 M16 spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. This one, it took place Wednesday night, February 12, about 10:15. It took place at Mount Peace District in the parish of Hanover. Our information is that a guy in his late 20s, he was with other persons at a gambling shop at Mount Peace when a lone hoodlum pounced. The hoodlum, who was armed with a gun, he opened gunfire hitting the guy several times all over his body. The hoodlum, he then made good his escape. The guy who was shot, he was rushed to hospital where he was treated and admitted in a very serious condition. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 14 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. This one, it took place at a shop in the Savannah Lamar market at the bottom of Great George Street in Savannah Lamar in the parish of Westmoreland. Our information is that a guy, he lost his phone and it was tracked to a shop in the Savannah Lamar market. On more than one occasion, the guy who lost his iPhone, he went to the shop asking for it, but he did not get a favorable response. Early yesterday morning, Thursday, February 13, about 5 o'clock, the operator for the shop was inside it when a hoodlum entered. He was armed with a gun. The hoodlum, he opened gunfire at the man who was in the shop, who is in his mid-40s, who managed to run off. The hoodlum, he then made good his escape. The operator for the shop, he received gunshot wounds to his chest. He was taken to the Savannah Lamar Hospital where he was treated. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 2 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene. The mayhem. And still in Savannah Lamar, yesterday afternoon, Thursday, February 13, about 2 o'clock, some motorists who were traveling along Top Darling Street in Savannah Lamar, they got the shock of their life. They witnessed a hoodlum who was armed with a gun, firing shots at a guy who was running away from him. Now, we did some digging and this is what we found out. We are told that the guys, they know each other. The allegation is that a guy known as Wayne, he's said to be in his late 40s, and his nephew known as Nicky, who is in his mid-20s. They were behind a shop arguing with a guy in his late 20s known as Season. It is alleged that Wayne, he boxed Season in his face. He then instructed his nephew Nicky to kill Season. Nicky, he then pulled a gun and opened gunfire at Season, who ran off. Nicky, he then chased Season into the middle of the road, still firing shots at him. Season, he made good his escape, and Nicky, he jumped on a bike and rode away, making good his escape. We are told that a Toyota Corolla motor car that was parked along the roadway received gunshot damage. The police, they were informed, and sometime later, they found Season hiding with gunshot wounds to his right foot. He was taken to hospital where he was treated and admitted. We are told that when the police processed this crime scene, 4 9mm spent shells were recovered from the scene, and we are told that later in the afternoon, the police, they picked up the guy known as Wayne. As soon as more information becomes available, I'll be updating this report. Stand by for it. The mayhem. In this next report, a guy named Tafari Elliot. He is 28 years old and he is from Pigot Street in the Mount Salem area of St. James. We are learning that Tafari, he was a member of a gang in the Pigot Street area. Tafari and other members of that gang, they crossed the border via Mexico into the United States of America. Tafari, he continued with his hoodlum activities in the state of Florida where he is living. Tafari, he is now in a Florida hospital suffering from gunshot wounds, and when he is released, he is facing 2 counts of attempted murder charges. It is reported that on Wednesday evening, February 12, about 6 o'clock, the BSO Gang Investigations Task Force, which includes BSO deputies and officers from other city police departments in Lauderhill, they went to the Calypso K apartment in the 4100 block of Northwest 21st Street in Lauderhill. It is said that during that operation, 2 hoodlums who were armed with guns, they confronted the task force and a shootout ensued. In the end, Tafari, he was shot and injured, and the other hoodlum, who is also suspected to be a Jamaican, he made good his escape. Tafari, he was taken to the Broward Medical Center for treatment. The mayhem. In this next report, on Sunday morning, February 9, about 11 o'clock, that man on your screen, his correct name is Lendon Thompson, but he was also known as Collin or Plug. Plug was a 42-year-old landscaper and he lived at Retirement District in the Bluefields Police area in the parish of Westmoreland. Plug, he was at a bar at the Aldeer Square when he and one of his cousins known as Gaaga, they had an argument over a ganja spliff. It is said that Plug, he told Gaaga about his mother when Gaaga, he pulled a knife which he used to inflict some serious wounds to Plug's head and his chest. Gaaga, he then made good his escape. Plug, he died as a result. Well, on Wednesday, February 12, Gaaga, he handed in himself to the police and he has now been charged for his cousin's murder. His correct name is Devon Williams and he's a 32-year-old window maker of Aldeer in the parish of Westmoreland. So, Gaaga, he has been charged and he'll be going to the courts shortly. The mayhem. So let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. Have you hit on the love button as yet? If you have not yet done so, remember to hit on it. Also, If you are over here watching our videos and you have not yet subscribed, hit on the subscribe button as also hit on the notification bell. Then click all so that whenever we drop a new video, you will be one of the first to be notified. Now, before I give you the final report for today, at the end of last month, I carried a report. It was about an incident that took place on Monday afternoon, January 27, almost 1 o'clock. It took place along the Laughlin Main Road in the vicinity of the Cranbrook Bridge in the parish of St. Ann. That man on your screen, his name is Garfield Letford, and he was a detective corporal. He was stationed at the Runaway Bay police station in the parish of St. Ann. Corporal Letford, he was driving a blue Mazda 3 motorcar to a murder scene at Discovery Bay. On reaching a section of the roadway in the vicinity of the Cranbrook Bridge, Corporal Letford's vehicle and another vehicle that was traveling in the opposite direction, they collided. Detective Corporal Letford and the other man, they were seriously injured, but like I reported before, the policeman's injuries were more serious. He was a patient in the Kingston Public Hospital, but early this morning, the corporal, he succumbed to his injuries. Sad indeed. In the final report for today, this one, it took place on Wednesday morning, February 12, about 11 o'clock. It took place at Gulf in the Gregory Park area of Portmore in the parish of St. Catherine. The police, they're reporting that they were on patrol in the area when they saw a guy who dropped a gun and ran away. That gun, it was picked up by the police and it was found to be a 6-SAR P226 9mm pistol with the serial number intact. It was affixed with a magazine containing 9 9mm rounds. The police, they continued to comb the area and they are alleging that they encountered 2 other guys who were armed with guns. They are saying that a shootout ensued and one of the guys made good his escape. The other one, he was found to be Devon Wright, but he was also known as Javi. Javi was 21 years old and he lived in the Gulf area. The police, they are saying that Javi, he was found suffering from gunshot wounds and clutching an FMK 9mm pistol with the serial number intact, affixed with a magazine containing 13 live rounds. Javi, he died on the spot. Indicom are carrying out investigations. The mayhem continues. Blessed love, everybody.
Tell a friend for tell a friend for tell a friend about Popeye Newslink and PNL Blog TV. Like, subscribe and share. Quicksilver sing, if we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. If we just unite, what a country this will be. If we just unite, Jamaica live in unity. Hey, crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. I coulda sunshine or rain. Jamaica, no problem, no pain. Rude boy them block out can't tame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. To the street and the lane, everybody them start complain. Bloodshed, what a shame, but me want me country back. Give me country back. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica. Oh Jamaica, me sweet Jamaica. Jamaica, the land of the sun. Jamaica become now the land of the gun. East and north and south when we turn. Country and town, man a pay blood a run. Murder, don't you baby me hear them a murder. Cut it out, tell them no gonna further. Man a dead like cans and bird, yeah. Who no listen them a word, yeah. Crime it a mash up Jamaica. Criminals them a mash up Jamaica. Jamaicans mash up Jamaica.